Yo, what's up? This is Ojamas and Pajamas, and today I'm just bringing you something special, another thing. We haven't done something like this yet, but we participate, Ojamas, we participate on a locals tournament, and it was pretty good, I think. The amount of players was okay, and the skill was high, and people were playing cool decks and a lot of meta decks like the magicians, and yeah, we also had some cosmos, and we also had infernoids. And I was thinking to bring BA to the party because I think that deck is still really relevant and good. Well, it's something more like a rogue deck now, but it can really give you some advantage if you're playing it right. And the builds are different that they were used to be before the bans on Graph and on Seer, and all your BA players, you know that the deck is not that consistent anymore, and you cannot run the discard traps anymore. So we had to move on as BA players, and we had to adapt to the meta. And I think this is really good build against like the pendulum mechanic. Other than that, like Infernoids and stuff like that, they are just hard countering you pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm just going into my deck profile really quick, and I'm just telling you a little bit about the matchups. And yeah, so we're gonna start at 1-2 guide. I think this is staple. I mean, you need to run 2 guide. Unfortunately, we can only run 1-2 guide, not 3 anymore. Has been like this for a few months, but 2 guide is okay. Then the 1 mathematician, also new to the one-off list. So yeah, this is where we're going to be headed. But in BA, it's not that bad to only one mathematician, or maybe 2, but it's okay. I mean, perfectly fine for 1 mathematician. I was really happy with this card. And then we have like the Queen. A lot of people are saying Queen is not that good, but Queen is actually pretty amazing. It is a start card. You can just like special summon a BA monster, and then you can just go Queen. The monster's dead, and you bring it back. So this is pretty cool. It gives you advantage in the early game, and even if you manage to have an BA on board that hasn't used its effect yet, so you can just normal summon Queen. The BA will monster will destroy itself, and you can get the effect plus Queen will bring it back. So Queen most of the part was really solid, but I wouldn't play more than 1 because it's a start card and you don't need more than 1. Then we have the obvious triple Scum. Scum was really good. It means getting those searches in the end phase, giving you basically 2 cards for drawing, like end phase search in your opponent's end phase and then drawing. That was pretty good, and I did it a lot of times. Solid cards, I mean. Then we have 1 graph because we can only play 1. I'm not going to tell you something about that card. It's pretty much known what it does. Special summons BA from the deck. Then special summoning from the grave, we have the double seer, also took a hit on the last list, but I mean, those are the only hits that BA had, and I think the deck is still good, still can do some things, still can have a shot on the top tier or the top tables at tournaments, locals, regionals, even bigger tournaments. Then the 1 Bobber for burn damage, Bobber for president. Bobber was really good in this tournament. I won a lot of games out of it because this deck, you want to go fast, you want to swing like crazy in the early game, bringing your opponent down to a lot of low life points, so you can just swing with Bobber and get those burns and get you the win, or you can even combine it with Nightmare Shark, which we will see later in the extra deck, so pretty good. Then we had 1 Rubric. Rubric was okay. I mean, he's the tuner for the Virgil, and also you need to have a certain BA count of monsters with different names just to be able to go down the first turn, and this is a good monster to run. It has no additional effect, but it's pretty strong in its effect because it can just bring you that Virgil play, which is pretty strong against some decks that you have trouble with. Um, yeah, Caglar, double Caglar. This is also really good to just send this card over here, the good and evil, to just search something. You can search your lake, you can search your traveler, you can search your monsters. It gives you consistency, it gives you advantage, and that is where we want to go with. Then 1 Farfer, I thought Fava wouldn't be that good, so I only played one because of Unicorn, Magispector, Unicorn, and also Apex, Avian. Um, and but it was really solid. I mean, just opening those boards, get some damage, and putting my opponent right in the position where I can bobber them or nightmare shock them. So that was pretty good. Yeah. Then the Libic, I don't like the Libic. I mean, he's cool because you can just, if he gets destroyed, you can maintain board presence if you have something in your hand. But most of the time, you just want to start with mathematician and a BA monster, which is Libic. Libic special summon another BA from your hand, and you have that instant Dante play ready to go. Alec, yeah, Alec was a nice to have card, to be honest. It wasn't putting me in a position where I have like advantage or I was really getting something by the effect, but other than using it for my own acid golem, just so I would be able to special some, it is not that good. So one Alec, I will probably run it and continue to run it because of infinity and all that stuff, but I think the card is not that bad, not that good. It's really good, not that bad, not that good, but yeah. Then we have Dragic. I was really disappointed about that card because every time I used the effect, I usually got off a Scum in the end phase, and you always want to have a priority on that Scum search. So Dragic was okay, was kind of okay, but it was too slow. It was just too slow. I don't think it would do much, and then I will probably cut it and go with a second Father or even a second Rubric. Except from that, 17 monsters was perfect. It was just good. And yeah, the good and evil, just the plays, the shenanigans with Caglar. Then we have the Galaxy Cyclone. You just need some removal because sometimes you're running into main deck floodgates or popping scales. It's pretty big right now, so yeah. Um, I think this is a pretty good card. Then we have the Foolish Burial. I mean, self-explaining. And then we have a total of 20 traps. It was really huge, but it's BA, you have to run that many traps to be able to even compete in the meta. We had the Fire Lake. I resolved it twice against pendulums, and it was usually blowout. I won one game because the opponent misplayed, and I had just that Fire Lake in the end, and I could just swing for game because of that Fire Lake. It was pretty good. Denver Triple Traveler, I really love that card. That card is so good. Never drew too many of them. Could just set it, and if you have just some shenanigans with this, or you have like a board where you just cycle through your spheres and your graphs, and then in the end phase of your opponent, you can just go there and activate Traveler, and you're getting everything back in the end phase. And if you resolve the Traveler, it's usually game next turn, unless they have like crazy cards to stop you. So gotta run this card in BA now. Triple. You know, Triple Horn of Heaven was really good against everything. Negates the knowledge sum, the flip sum, and the special summon of a monster. So you could even negate a whole pendulum summon, which I did 2 or 3 times. It was just a blowout. Won me a game, which is pretty good. Just wouldn't run less than 3 horns because you can use them in every kind of matchup. Then Great Horn of Heaven was okay. I think it's pretty good stealing your opponent's main phase. But on the other hand, if you don't have a backup play and you just resolve that to stop them for turn, usually you don't have that good top decks in this deck. So if you resolve Great Horn of Heaven and you don't have a backup plan, it usually backfires at you next turn because they had to draw a card and they got to draw another in the next draw phase, and that would pretty much destroy the whole thing. So it was okay, but not that good. Then we have Judgment of the Anubis. Anubis, discard one card from your hand, negate the activation and the effect of a spell card controlled by your opponent that has the effect of destroying spell or trap cards on the field and destroy it. After that, you can destroy one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster. Pretty big effect right here. You have to consider chaining this on Wavering Eyes is negating the Wavering Eyes, and you get to destroy monsters. So if they have a big monster on the field that can be destroyed, well, not counting in magic specters, but everything else, because you are not targeting it, they lose the monster and they get really heavy burn damage from it. So, really cool card. Um, it's kind of shame that it has to negate the spell card that wants to destroy some back row of your own, so yeah, kind of heavy restriction on it, but I mean, against that Wavering Eyes, it's too good. Then we have Bottomless Trap Hole, we have Solemn Warning, Skill Drain, and Vanity's Emptiness for the one-offs, and we have triple anti-spell Fragrance. This with Horn or this with Firelight is pretty much game against all the decks that's using spells, so pretty big there. I would always be running 3 in a pendulum format. Other than that, the card is okay. Not that good, but it's okay. Then we have the Storming Mirror Force. Storming Mirror Force was really good. Never got to resolve it, but the card in itself is pretty strong. I mean, it's just an R2 Unicore, and well, Avian can negate it, but then they have to negate it, and you just have some free space to do some other things. Breakthrough Skill, I think I milled it once, never used it, which is not that good. I don't think I'm gonna main it. It's a nice mill card, that's true, but other than that, not pretty strong. Then in Dragster, one Chimera Track Fortress Strength, obviously for Cosmo matchup. Virgil, pretty strong. Triple Dante, of course. Triple Down Magician, one Acid Golem, one Nightmare Shark to steal those games, one Fortune Tune to sit on him to get just like a crazy advantage. One Wind Up Zen mains, one Ghost Trick Alucard was good, but didn't use it today, so. But I would still play it, it's really good. Then we have 2 Utopic Future, made it a couple of times. Against Inferno, it's pretty solid, and against Cosmos, of course, it's really blowout. Then for the side deck, we have Double Vanity Fiend, pretty strong card here. We have that triple Cyber Core to tag with the Chimera tag. Then we have double Maxi with one Raigeki, triple Mystical Space Typhoon to side in for all that back row hate. They are going to side in for against you, like World Decree, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and all that stuff. The second file, like just for the rogue matchup, I think against the tier decks, it's good, but it's not that needed. And we have triple Imperial Eye Roll against an Inferno matchup, because this is really heavy matchup. I lost the last game against Inferno, it's 2-1, and it was kind of shame, but it was a good player. And yeah, I placed second with this deck. Really good. I just, would do some changes like taking out Dragic because he didn't do much. The Anubis was okay, but probably like more side deck card, and like maybe replace it with a Divine Wrath. But other than that, the deck is the card is really good. It's a counter trap card, easy to get, and it's really strong. I mean, yeah. Then we have for the rest. I think the deck was solid. Like maybe just replacing that Dragot with a second Rubric, and maybe adding a second Fafnir, I'm not sure, but Fafnir's good luring out effects. So yeah, that was it. That was my Ojama like BA deck profile, and I really enjoy playing the deck. And if you if you enjoy playing BA, just don't forget the deck isn't that. The deck is really good. It's not that Matter Tier 1 deck, as it was, but it's still good and it still functions, and that's what counts. I mean, if you can play a deck that functions, that's all that matters. So yeah, Ojama in pajamas, we are out. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, and have a New Year's Eve that is pretty cool. And yeah, prepared to just leave a comment if you like down below in the comment section. And yeah, see you